Okay, so this is the first video for the 2 points perspective. What I have here is a grid done on CAD, and I printed out a half a scale. And when you are doing this, you will see that the center line and a little bit of here, you will have a half a scale. So when you measure, if you want to measure vertical, measure here and then go into the vanishing point. In order to place the grid on the table, you're going to have to tape the grid, and what you're going to do, you're going to measure from that center line to the side. You're going to measure 15 inches, okay? To the edge, make sure you put the T-square and you measure 15 inches to one side. And then on the other side, you're going to measure 32 inches. And in this case, is exactly the width of my kitchen counter, okay? So 32 on this direction to your left to that vanishing point, and 15 to your right to that vanishing point. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of tape and I'm going to mark that vanishing point in both sides. And from there, I'm going to have always to measure in order to start building my my cubes for my furniture. So 15 here, okay, and 32 over here. Make sure that you are going 5 up. That's where your vanishing point, that's where your eyes are in that space. So in this one, I'm going to mark 32. And on this one here, I'm going to do a red mark. You cannot see it on the screen, but you know, I have it in both sides. Now, the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put a tracing paper on top of it, and you're going to draw this is a bedroom. So what you're gonna do here, I have a king bed, I have a door, I have a dresser, I have a sitting area, and another dresser. So I have 5 pieces of furniture. I want you to have at least 5 pieces of furniture plus the entourage, okay? I'm sorry, I have 4 pieces of furniture. Now, once you build, you use the same system we used on the first in 1 point perspective. We start on the bottom, we measure. Now, as you can see, everything starts getting distorted. So I just want you to apply your common sense on where you are going to measure the width, you know, the base of the bedroom, the base of the dresser, and this one too, and this is just for a sitting area. So once you do that, remember you measure, you start, you go up, make sure you do it with the T-square, and the verticals still vertical. The only difference now is that you go to the right vanishing point or to the left vanishing point. So you do this on the floor, these lines all go to the right vanishing point, okay? All of this, and these ones, all of them go to the left vanishing point. Once you have the base, you start going up on each corner and just go up, you know, keep going up. Don't worry about the height at this point immediately. And once you have all of them with the pencil, I have them with color pencil right now so you can see it. I measure in the center on that corner, okay, I measure the height. So for example, the back, you know, the part, let's say this one, the height of this dresser is 5 feet. And I have my height at 5 feet. So the top is going to be a total straight line, okay? I'm not gonna see anything under, and I'm not gonna see anything on top. Now, everything else is lower than my eyes, it's lower than those 5 feet. So I'm gonna see the top, and the top, okay? So after you do that, after you do all your cubes, you will decide, of course, at the very beginning, you will decide your furniture. And after you do your cube, you start playing with the furniture. Now, for sure, make sure that you mark at least the wall. So when you place the next piece of paper, okay, another tracing paper on top. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the second part, but I'm going to put a piece of white paper under, okay? So you can see, because right now what you can see is the boxes and, you know, pretty much the sketch on top. So before I do that, I'm going to show you pretty much what looks like the sketch on top. And on this one, you really don't have to be too careful about, you know, how you're sketching. Just keep on the line, make sure everything goes to the right vanishing point, the surface of the night table. Oh, I added a night table. That's why I had 5 pieces of furniture, I remember. So I added this one at the end. I probably just added here by going to the vanishing point to the right and going to the vanishing point to the left. Okay, so let me show you pretty much the way this looks. You know, when I'm looking at the pictures and the bed that I'm going to use and the night tables and all that, I kept a very simple, you know, as you know, it's easier to draw it first like a box and then add all the additions, you know, if it has very nice handles or if it has some texture. So after that, I put another piece of paper on top. I made the sitting area slightly smaller. In here you can see, okay? And I start on the floor with the legs. I place the legs on the floor. I go a little higher, you know, and then I start building up. So after that, with the art pen, I did my underlay, okay? Some of the lines are done with the straight edge, and some of the lines, for example, the bed and the pillow, you know, all that stuff that is soft is just freehand, okay? So at this point, you can go and scan this. And after you scan it, you can print it in a nail, any kind of sizes to start playing out with the rendering. But before I did that, I did another underlay, and I put a couple of, I put a person to give a scale, and I just play a little bit with, you know, different things on top of the dresser. So I have this lady that you can see, her eyes are on that horizon line. So from the floor to her eyes, we're supposed to have 5 feet, but on perspective, obviously, they change. So if I had to measure this 5 feet exactly, I will go here right in the center. That's where my horizon. I did just a painting, you know, a couple of flowers, and I just added, you know, a little bit more so it looks more homey. Now, this part, if this bedroom is, for example, for a couple, instead of having one lady, you can have a couple. And if it's just for a man, you can, you know, change it, and as you change, so you can do many things. You can add the legs, different kind of legs. You can add handles, you know, different ones. You can put a better spread, you know, just changing the color. It will look either one way or the other, neutral, female, you know, or male, darker maybe colors. Now, remember, if you do any design on top of the bed, those go also to the vanishing point. The design here, if you want to put circles, they're going to look like elliptical shapes. If you want to place, you know, just a texture in here and have a pattern, that pattern is going to go to the vanishing point on the right or to the vanishing point on the left, okay? So at the end, what I did, I just scanned it and I made a couple of copies where I can start playing with my ideas. And notice I left, you know, the lady and all that, I left it out, and then I can just start playing a little bit with the rendering.